Hey, and today I want to elaborate why the self is and cannot be an illusion. I based this on the quote of René Descartes, I think, therefore I am. It's gonna be a short video, so I would say we just start with the video, and yeah, we're gonna start with the definitions. So first definition we need to know about is what is the self. The self, according to Wikipedia, is an individual person as the object of its own reflective consciousness. So basically it is our desires, ideas, wishes, and so on. So everything that is observed by our consciousness from our consciousness. That is, according to the definition, what the self is. This is interconnected with emotion and memory, also with rationality, but for the self, emotion and memory seems a little bit more important to me, so I didn't list rationality. I don't know why I didn't do that. I think rationality is as important, but emotion and memory is what is the most prevalent experience, at least for myself, that I have. So the second definition we need to know about is what is an illusion. An illusion is a distortion of the senses, according to Wikipedia. So basically, it is something perceived that is not there. So for example, if you see an apple tree where there is no apple tree, you have an optical hallucination, and your consciousness generates something that isn't really in reality. So that is an illusion. So the basic hypothesis of those people who claim that the self is an illusion is that our consciousness is different and that the self is something perceived from a consciousness that isn't really part of us or anything real at all in our consciousness. So from the following argument, I want to explain why I think that the self is not an illusion and cannot be an illusion. And this goes according to following premises. Premise A. To enact your will, you need to know what you want. So to know where your action is going, what you will achieve with the action, you need to know what you want to achieve for your consciousness, right? Premise B. To know what you want, you need to know what you don't want. So you need to have some kind of distinction between where you want to go with your consciousness and where you don't want to go. And for this, C, you need to know what you are to know what you are not. So only if you can know which parts of you are you and you want to be, then you can know what you are not and what you don't want to be, and therefore enact your will in which you want to be. This basically says if the self doesn't exist, you would be all thoughts. So therefore could not act on a thought because you wouldn't know the difference in your thoughts of being you and thinking. And that is the conclusion. Like, if the people would hold true that the self is an illusion, then our consciousness couldn't differentiate between what is wanting to sleep and sleeping. So there wouldn't be any distinction in what you would be able to do or not. You would just do everything your brain would suggest you to do. And there wouldn't be any choice anymore. So, because you have a self, you can act at least with a perceived choice, right? We're still not sure if free will does exist. I'm personally sure that free will exists, but I know that it is debatable. But even the option of choice in a determined world is something that is only possible with the self, because the self differentiates between your own consciousness and the input from the world and the environment. Okay, that's the video. That's my hypothesis. I hope you liked it. I wish you a nice day. Ciao.